What a huge shame. What a huge shame for the Glazers, for the board of Man United, that Min-jae, a 26-year-old South Korean international, has been playing for Napoli, named the best defender in the Serie A, is looking like he is really ready or moving close to completing the United snub. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you're watching us from? Good morning. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and let's roll like never before. Don't forget to do the needful and obviously subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we do upload a video onto our YouTube channel. Now, we are having lots of things that are really going at Man United, but yesterday not so much news, but I brought you just one more video, and today I think we're going to compensate all that as we expect more stories to come in through of Man United. So I really understand that most of us are really frustrated about the Min-jae deal, but Casemiro is going to have to speak out about the systems of football, Man United and Brazil versing the two. And lastly, Bruno Fernandes, a man who went ahead and really saw himself involved in 3 goals as Portugal beat Herzegovina into a very good game of football. Now, let's do the Min-jae stories. At first, Fabrizio Romano came in through and really told us the following that was really shocking. Understand Bayern Munich have presented their project to Min-jae this week, and the agreement on personal terms is now closed. Kim, tempted by Bayern as talks are now advancing fast. Man United remain interested, but it was never done. Release clause available in July. That's Fabrizio Romano. And guess what? In the wee hours of the night, he told us that contract almost agreed between Min-jae and Bayern Munich. As called yesterday, FC Bayern looks like matter of time to trigger the clause and get it done. That is Fabrizio Romano. And now, this is where you feel perturbed. You know, you feel like huge bells are ringing into your mind. How can we not sign a player that likes to come to our club and we cannot even give him consent to our payment, all triggering his clause? Because, as I'm going to bring you later, tweets coming in from journalists from Germany, he was sold onto the move to come to the Premier League and play for Man United. But because of the Glazer situation that is really making things unclear at Man United, no serious player is willing to wait because he doesn't know how the market is going to move. You might say, I'm not going to Bayern Munich, I'm waiting to go to Man United, and United failed to trigger the clause because you never know how the budget of United is going to go ahead and obviously happen. But to me, this goes all back to the owners of this club. You know, why don't you sell off Harry Maguire? Because if you sell Harry Maguire £40 million, you are only left with just like £10 million to add on to go ahead and really get the deal of Min-jae out of the way. Remember, his buyout clause to be triggered is between £50 million and £60 million. That is it. So it's really ugly that we are losing out on a player who had chosen us over any other club. Ten Hag had convinced the player, and we might find ourselves going for Disasi. And this is where I was really worried a little bit that we are linked to Disasi, yet Min-jae was there and it was up for grabs. And to make it so much funny, there is no huge difference between the amount of money that Napoli has into their buyout clause, you know, for Min-jae and Disasi. Now, if we go in for Disasi, I'll be so much stunned that we never got in Min-jae because they are almost in the same range. Disasi between 45 and 50 million pounds. Min-jae between 50 and 60 million pounds. You know, is there any huge difference? So I'll be so much stunned and astonished if at all we don't go in for this guy known as Min-jae. And again, we are told by Santi J, Min-jae has chosen Bayern Munich, and other interested clubs have been informed. Full agreement almost reached with players' agent, €10 million net salary, as well as huge agent fees. Man United and Newcastle will turn to other targets. And when you see this guy coming out, Santi Aoma, I really trust him. He's one of the huge sources working for Marketo in Spain, and he's really one of the good ones that really create a story. So Min-jae has made Bayern Munich his preference, and this is how transfers do change. Turning heel in transfers, it takes just a slip of a second for one client that the player wants to go to, and the other team comes in with the best offer, and obviously they take over the player. Min-jae is really going to pay me to go to that side. I really believe we would have gone ahead to get this deal out of the way. And we had Kerry Howley, chief reporter for Sport 1, and he reports so much on Bayern Munich. He told us that the release clause of Min-jae is expected to range between 55 million euros and 60 million euros. Bayern bosses have approved paying it. The club expects to get similar price range for Lucas Hernandez. So it shows you exactly that we had some simple thing to do that we failed to do, and that simple thing was to really assure Min-jae that we are going to pay what we call the auto trigger the buyout clause. That was something that we've gone ahead to fail and really make approval into the eyes of Min-jae. But I think we had the same deal offer to him, because when you look at 10 million euros, if you have to convert euros to pounds, 10 million euros are 8.5. And by the way, we had gone ahead to offer a very good deal. Why? We had gone ahead to offer him 9 million pounds. So we had offered £500,000 more on the salary to Min-jae. That's it. But what really changed up things? It's simple. We don't have guarantee to give a vivid plan to Min-jae that we are going to pay that amount of money and trigger it. So never say never. Things can happen, but as I know teams like Bayern Munich, they're really good at killing off transfers, and I think this one, it's a here we go very, very soon, and Min-jae is going to join Bayern Munich in a nick of time, according to the reports. Fabrizio Romano, Christian Falk, Plate Goal, Santi Aoma, all of them are really giving us hint on Min-jae joining Bayern Munich. So what is next for Man United? Now, you're going to see the likes of Disasi linked to Man United. Not a bad defender, tall, physically tailor-made for the Premier League. He loves his job, and he's good on the ball. He's on to the French national team. So I think we're going to be linked to Julian Timber again. There is Coach, who is a free agent from Leeds, that is being linked to Man United. And which other central defender are we going to be linked at? If Mark Goichi, the English international playing for Crystal Palace. So let's wait and see how things really pan out into that galaxy. But obviously, it's really disappointing, very much painful for losing Min-jae to a team known as Bayern Munich. And you're seeing how the Glazers are making the job of Erik ten Hag hard. Trust me, other teams are really strengthening up. They are really strengthening up. Arsenal might see two players sign for it next week, Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Chelsea have already signed Nkunku. They signed him in the summer. They are going in for Caicedo. They've gone in for Nicolas from Real. So they're really trying to do the info, and they're looking in for center forward. When you look at Man City, they are closing in on Kovacic, right? Man City is closing in on Vadio. They are really keeping their eyes onto Declan Rice. If Arsenal fails to get this deal out of the way, they can get it out of the way. Liverpool are bringing McAllister. They're in for Manu Kone and Thuram. So next week we can see Liverpool really getting in more players. When you look at the top six, we are the only team that is known so much into this transfer window, and I don't know why we are not attacking it hard. We are on to Mason Mount, and I think we just needed Min-jae first in, according to me. get in Min-jae, get in Rabiot, and get these things out of the way. That's what we're supposed to be doing as a team of Man United. But because, you know, the chief football negotiator of Man United has just come in through at the club of Man United, so you can't anticipate a lot from him. That's it. So let's give him time and let's not judge him because he started his job on Monday this week. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But it's really annoying, and Ten Hag is very much, I think, annoyed because his job is being taken for granted by the Glazers. Now, let's do a little bit of Casemiro. While at Brazil has hated Brazil, we always say that the first line of defense is a number 9. In modern football, you defend and attack with 11 players. It's impossible to defend or attack alone. So I have to help other players, both attacking and defending. And if at all you are to talk about the best CDM in the league, obviously it's Casemiro. And what has seen Rodri being put ahead of him, it's because of Rodri winning trophies. Trust me, if Casemiro lifted those trophies, you know, he would have gone ahead to be named one of the best CDMs in the league. And the next season is really going to be so much pivotal as we are starting the season with him. He's not an injury-prone player. I believe he's going to be really fit for the season and is coming in through with a very big bang because he adds a lot to us. Now, he's talking about on how we defend. We no longer defend with one player. It's all about 11 players. Teamwork is the way to go, and you've seen it cost United in games like of Man City 6-3, Brentford 4-0, Liverpool 7-0. And the reason that Erik ten Hag is going to have to give is that he lacks an additional athletic midfielder into the double pivot. That's why he's going for Mason Mount, because he believes that his athleticism is more than that of Eriksen, right? So he wants to be having Casemiro, Eriksen, so Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Mason Mount. And by the way, next season you might see us shifting to a 4-3-3. That's it, all a different system altogether. And if at all Rabiot happens to come in through, my preferred player, because I just can't dream of us losing out trophies and games when you're having Rabiot and Casemiro in a double pivot. That's it. It's really one of those things that you just want to see happen and see how Casemiro and Rabiot are going to play into that midfield. So Ten Hag needs athleticism into his midfield. He needs the intensity, the work rate increase, such that he's having two midfielders, Casemiro and another one who can really put in the same work effort. So it's a team game. It's a team game, but games of football alone and lost in the midfield. So that's why we need to enforce that midfield. And Casemiro alone is not enough, as next season he might play close to 70 games, as Ten Hag told us that he's preparing his team to play 70 games plus. Now, lastly, Bruno Fernandes, he said, I feel privileged to be able to do this job, which is more than a job because it's always been a dream. It was also a childhood dream to play for Manchester United, and every time the manager asks me if I want to rest, I say no. So he's literally the only player that has not gone ahead to miss out a game for Man United because of injury. All the games that Bruno missed out, it was because he was suspended. 5 yellow cards, all 2 yellow cards in the UEFA Europa League and the Carabao Cup. Those are the only games that saw Bruno out. But most of the games, Bruno played them and doesn't want to rest. And it's a childhood dream because, you know, when Ronaldo came in at Man United, Nani, we made a lot of fans in Portugal, and they wanted to follow up onto what Ronaldo made or orchestrated at Man United, and Bruno just admired to go on and be the next Portuguese to fire all cylinders in the Premier League. And guess what? He is the next Portuguese player after Cristiano Ronaldo to come up and fire all cylinders in the Premier League because his stats are really immense. Yesterday when Portugal Bosnia, right? They are playing Herzegovina. Is it Herzegovina? Yesterday, let me look at the team they played. It was Bosnia, and Herzegovina. he was involved in 3 goals. Bruno Fernandes scored a brace and created one for Bernardo Silva. That is what Bruno Fernandes gets you in your team. And I think he's one of those players that we really need to come out and obviously build on our team. And that's why most of us are calling in for Harry Maguire to leave, and such that Bruno Fernandes is officially crowned as the captain of this team. So guys, your thoughts on Min-jae? Man United snub almost complete. What do you make about Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes talks at the national team? Good morning. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. I'm out for now. See you later, my mates, my Muslim friends. May Allah protect you abundantly. Me out.